blue sky. You're right, Year 6. Welcome to today's maths lesson. Now this week in maths we are going to be looking at measures, so length and capacity and weight. So today we're going to do a bit of practicing converting between different lengths and stuff. So the easiest way for me to do that is to get into our screen and then I can show you how to do it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so as I said, we are going to be looking at different units of measurement. So first off, let's look at length. Now, hopefully, you can tell me that length, generally, in the metric units, we measure using millimeters, which you do as mm, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. Now, the next few facts we just need to know, okay? So we need to know that for every centimeter, for 1 centimeter, there are 10 millimeters, okay? So a centimeter is 10 times bigger than a millimeter. For every meter, there are 100 centimeters. So a meter is 100 centimeters, 100 times bigger than a centimeter. And for every kilometer, we need to remember that there is 1,000 meters, okay? And you've probably heard me do this before, but I like to go millimeters, centimeters, meters, kilometers. I did that slightly wrong, I'll do it again. Millimeters, centimeters, meters, kilometers. Okay, so the important numbers we need to remember are this 10, 100, 1,000, okay? So if you're given things that, and it will look like, the thing that I like to remember is something that looks like this. So I put millimeters, centimeters, meters, kilometers, okay? And there are 10 millimeters in a centimeter, there are 100 centimeters in a meter, and there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So if we're given a question that says something like 5.5 kilometers equals how many meters? Now, first thing we need to do is we need to work out what is the important number to get us from kilometers to meters. So how many meters are there in a kilometer? Hopefully you can tell me it's 1,000. So we know that this needs to be either 1,000 times bigger or 1,000 times smaller. Okay? Now think about it. If I make that 5.5 bigger, it's going to end up being like 550 something. Are there going to be more than 5 kilometers? Sorry, are there going to be more than 5 meters in a kilometer? Or are there going to be less meters in a kilometer? Hopefully you'll agree with me that if I've got 5 kilometers, which is like for me, from here to like the other side of Bolton, that is going to be a lot more than 5 meters. So I need to make this number bigger. So I'm going to multiply it, and we know that the special number is 1,000 by 1,000. So Year 6, what I'm expecting to see today is lots of upscaling, okay? So we're multiplying by 1,000. So multiplying means that it's going to go this way. And by 1,000 means that I'm moving 3 times because it's 3 lots of 10. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, right to underneath. This one goes 1, 2, 3, right to underneath. And then in this placeholder, put a 0. This placeholder, put a 0. So my answer is 5,500 meters. Does it make sense that there would be 5,500 meters in 5 kilometers? It does. If I'd have done it the wrong way around, I'd have ended up with something like 0 points, what would it have been? Like 0.0055 meters. So what we're saying is that there is way less than a meter in 5 kilometers, which isn't right, is it? Okay, so we need to make sure we go the right way. Let's say then we end up with something like 320 centimeters, and we want to know how many meters that is. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is work out what's the important number to get me from centimeters to meters. And it's 100, because there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So I'm either times or dividing by 100. Now, if I've got 320 centimeters, am I going to have less meters for it to be the same thing? And yeah, I am, because a centimeter is only this big and a meter is like half of me. So I'm dividing. So I write 320. I put my decimal point in, I put my decimal point in here. Now I'm dividing, making it smaller, so it's going to go this way. I'm dividing by 100, so I'm moving it 2 spots. So 1, 2, right underneath. 1, 2, right underneath. 1, 2, right underneath. So my answer is 3.2 meters. Does it make sense that 3 and a bit meters will be the same as 3 and a bit of those will be the same as 320 of those? And that does make sense. So I'm happy. Now the next one, weight and mass. In primary school, we don't need to worry too much about the difference between those things. Once you get to high school, you'll be told that they are slightly different, but we don't need to worry too much about that now. Okay, so weight and mass sounds scary, but it's actually easier than length, because all we need to remember in that 1 kilogram, there is 1,000 grams, okay? We've only got that one thing to remember. In 1 kilogram, there are 1,000 grams. So if I've got something like 6,700 grams, okay, and I want to do that in kilograms, I need to work out, it's going to be 1,000. Am I multiplying or am I dividing? Well, I've got 6,700 grams, which are tiny, tiny, tiny things. Is that going to be more than 6,000 kilograms, which is like the weight of a bag of sugar? And it is going to be less, because the weight of a bag of sugar is going to be weighs a lot heavier than those. So I know I'm going to be dividing. So I set it up, so I write my 6,700, and I know I'm dividing by 1,000, so I'm making it smaller, so it's going to go this way. I'm dividing by 1,000, so it's 3 spots. So 1, 2, 3, right underneath. 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 So my answer is 6.7 kilograms. Does it make sense that 6,000 grams would be 6 kilograms? It does, so I'm happy that's right. And then the other way around would be, I'm not going to do it, but if we had something like 4.5 kilograms, and we were doing that in grams, you would agree that for each kilogram there's 1,000 grams, so I'm multiplying it by 1,000, so I'd end up with 4,500. But don't be afraid of doing the upscaling and downscaling. And then finally, capacity is so similar to weight and mass. So all we need to remember is that in 1 litre, which is sometimes just like an L like that, but I'll write litre for now, there are 1,000 millilitres. Okay, so I'm always going to be multiplying or dividing by 1,000. So let's say you were told that you had 6.75 litres, and you wanted to know that in millilitres. Well, the 6 litres, and there's 1,000 millilitres every time of those, so it's going to be bigger. So I put my 6.75. I'm going to be multiplying by 1,000, so it's going this way. So I've moved it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, right it underneath. 1, 2, 3, right it underneath. 1, 2, 3, right it underneath. And then in my gap. So 6,750 millilitres. If I accidentally did that the wrong way around, I ended up with an answer of 0.00675 millilitres. Hopefully you will go, hang on, how can less than a millilitre, which is literally like a drop of water, be the same as 6 litres, which is like the same as what you put in like a bowl of water? Okay, it's not the same. 2 very different things, so you know you've gone the wrong way. So these are the facts we need to remember. When we're talking about length, we've got millimetres, centimetres, metres, kilometres. And we need to remember that it's 10, 100, 1,000. When we are looking at weight or mass, we just use grams and kilograms, and 1,000 is the important number. And when we're looking at capacity, we use litres and millilitres, and again, 1,000 is the important number. So in your questions today, some of them are going to be like this. It will give you an amount. You need to tell me what it is in whatever. Some of the questions, though, you might be asked stuff like, put these in order. So you might have something like 3.2 centimetres. Actually, let me type this. 1 sec. Okay, right, firstly, let's make that small. So you can use this if you need to. I think it's on the information sheet. It is on the information sheet. And you might be asked something like to put these in order. So you've got 4.5 centimetres, 320 metres, 3 kilometres, and 450 centimetres. Okay? Now it's really difficult to compare them when they are all like they're all written in different things. So my advice would be to start putting them in the same things. So it might be worth doing meters. So if I look at this one, I'm happy to keep that as 320 meters. Now 3 kilometers, if I know that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters, then 3 kilometers is 3,000 meters. 450 centimeters, and I want to do that in meters. Okay, so you need to work out, how is it getting, what's the important number from centimeters to meters? Well, there are 100 centimeters in a meter, so it's 100 is the important number. So I know I'm dividing our times in. So if I'm going from centimeters, which are those, to meters, which are those, and I'm looking at the same length, then I know that there's going to be less of those. If I've got 450 of those, it is going to be less than 450 of those. So I'm dividing it by 100. 450 divide by 100, so 1, 2, right underneath. 1, 2, right underneath. 1, 2, right underneath. So I'm left with 4.5 meters. Now, this one we got 4.5 centimeters. I could put that into meters, but I really don't need to. So if I'm putting those in order from smallest to biggest, then 4.5 centimeters is tiny, so that's going to be there, because it's only like that long. 4.5 meters is going to be next. Then it's going to be 320 meters. Then it's going to be 3,000 meters. Okay, so most of your stuff today is to kind of order some. So you have a few questions where I just want you to tell me what it is. What's 2.6 grams in kilograms, or that's not 2.6 kilograms in grams. Then there might be some of these where you've got to work it out. On Go, I think there's some of the trickier ones. But year 6, take your time with it. And I promise you, if you look at the answer you get and check and say, does that make sense? And hopefully today you'll be pretty good. Use the upscaling and downscaling thing if you need to. I would do, just in case. It's definitely worth doing. And especially if you end up with stuff like 4.072, don't take risks. It takes 10 seconds to do the upscaling and downscaling jotting, so it's worth doing it. And then let me see those. Okay, year 6, work hard, and I look forward to seeing your work. Goodbye.